Assalamu alaikum. Today I'm going to talk about the last part of إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين, and also I'm going to talk about different types of Arabic verbs. So let's start على بركة الله تعالى. We are agreed that إياك نستعين has the same construction of إياك نعبد. I mean, it was originally نستعين إياك, but switching the places of the verb نستعين and the object separate pronoun إياك gave the verse more strength and concentration on Allah Ta'ala. نستعين is the verb استعانة conjugated in the present tense المضارع. So instead of saying إياك نحن نستعين, we shorten it by إياك نستعين because the subject marker noon prefixed to the verb helps me to detect which subject pronoun is used and which tense the verb is conjugated in. So whenever I see it prefixed to a verb, I know there is a hidden subject pronoun we or نحن and the verb is conjugated in the present tense المضارع. The verb استعانة means to ask for help. Its root letters are عين, ألف and nun. I'll give numbers to these roots to use them later. So I give 1 to the first, 2 to the second and 3 to the third. The verb with the root letters is أعانة, means to help completely, and أعان القط بالماء means he helped the cat with water. Before moving forward, I have to remind you that alif, waw and ya are 3 letters. We call them weak letters, and they can come as consonants and as long vowels. Also, I have to remind you that the shortest verb in Arabic has to consist 3 letters and the longest has to consist 6 letters. You can never find a verb with 2 letters or a verb with 7 letters or more. Why did I remind you of that? Because I'm going to talk about different types of verbs that have 3 letters. The first type of verbs is the one that there is no weak letter between its roots and it has no repeated letter, like فعل. The letters that make up the root are fa, عين and lam, or رحمة. The root letters are ra, ha and mim, or عبد. The root letters are عين, ba and dal. All of them are consonants and no one is repeated. We call this type of verbs by sound verbal roots. الفعل الصحيح السالم. The second type is the one where its second and third root letters are the same, and instead of repeating the same letter, we merge them into one and we put shadda above it, like dalla. The letters that make up the root are dal, lam and lam, or hatta. The root letters are ha, ta and ta, or tamma. The root letters are ta, mim and mim. We have one root letter is repeated twice in the end. That's why we merge them under shadda. We call this type of verbs by doublet verbal roots. الفعل المضاعف. The third type is where any of the root letters is Hamza and it might occur as the first, second or third, like أكل. The root letters are alif with Hamza, kaf and lam. Here we have the Hamza is the first letter, or سأل. The root letters are sin, alif with Hamza and lam. Here the Hamza is the second letter, or قرأ. The root letters are قاف, ra and alif with Hamza. Here the Hamza is the third letter. We call this type of verbs by hamzated verb roots. الفعل المهموز. The fourth type is where the first root letter is a weak letter, mostly waw or ya, like wasala. The root letters are waw, sad and lam. Here we have waw as a first letter, or wajada. The root letters are waw, jim and dal. Here also we have waw as a first letter, or yasira. The root letters are ya, sin and ra. Here we have ya as a first letter. We call this type of verbs by assimilated verb roots, or الفعل المثال. The fifth type is where the second root is a weak letter, mostly alif, like قال. The root letters are قاف, alif and lam, or عاش. The root letters are عين, alif and shin, or نام. The root letters are nun, alif and mim. Here we have alif as a second letter, and we call this type of verbs by hollow verb roots. الفعل الأجوف. The sixth type is where the final root letter is a weak letter, mostly alif or ya, like بدا. The root letters are ba, dal, and alif. Here we have alif in the end, or nasiya. The root letters are nun, sin, and ya. Here we have ya in the end, or kafa. The root letters are kaf, fa, and alif with the shape of ya but with no points. This alif is called by the restricted alif or al-alif al-maqsura, and it has necessarily to come in the end. I'll explain in the future inshallah ta'ala why we use it instead of the normal alif. Anyway, we call this type of verbs by defective verb roots or al-fi'l al-naqis. The verbs that consist at least one weak letter between their root letters are called weak verbs. I'll talk in the future inshallah ta'ala with more details why there are so many types of verb that consist of 3 root letters. Returning to the verb aana, what type of verbs do you think it belongs to? Stop the video for a moment and try to answer. If you think you know the right answer, share it with us and write it down in the comments. So, why do we add those 3 letters alif, sin, and ta in the first of the verb aana? What is their roles? What is the difference between aana and ista'ana? Let's first be agreed that those 3 letters come as one package and stick at the beginning of a verb that consists of 3 letters. The pattern how to use this package is like that in the infinitive form. Those numbers are the root letters in order, and the pattern in the present tense in the third person he is like that. You have only to determine the root letters of a verb and put them in the place of 1, 2, and 3. There are many meanings that a verb can hold if these letters are prefixed to it, but the most used is they make the verb requestative or estimative. Example for estimative cases are the verb hasuna means to be good and istahsana means to consider something or somebody good. Also the verb haqura means to be despicable and istahqara means to consider something or somebody despicable. Examples for requestative cases are the verb ghafara means to forgive and istaghfara means to ask or request for forgiveness. The verb fahima is to understand and istafhama means to ask or request for understanding. Finally, the verb aana means to help and the verb ista'ana means to ask or request for help. So, إياك نستعين means it is you we ask for help. How can I request help from Allah Ta'ala? He, Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, answers this question in the second surah, ayah 45. واستعينوا بالصبر والصلاة وإنها لكبيرة إلا على الخاشعين. And seek help through patience and prayer, and indeed it is difficult except for the humbly submissive. And also in the second surah, ayah 153, يا أيها الذين آمنوا استعينوا بالصبر والصلاة إن الله مع الصابرين. O you who have believed, seek help through patience and prayer. Indeed, Allah is with the patient ones. So the best way to seek help from Allah Ta'ala is through patience and prayer. بالصبر والصلاة. Our lesson will end here. I hope that you enjoyed this series, and if you have any question, don't hesitate to write it down in the comments or send it to me on my Facebook or Instagram. See you next time.